are a superstar. Symbol of a woman to be working for herself. You are a superstar. Owamie, 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 Owamie. You a vlogger, fashion over. You a queen, one less than a mugozi. Owamie, 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 Owamie.
Hi ninjas, how are you guys doing? It's a girl, I'm Nature aka Miss Fear Focal, coming back for our entertainment. If it's the first time joining me, most definitely welcome. Please do make sure that you subscribe and obviously hit the bell. I absolutely love you, and do not forget, follow me on Instagram. It's at boldly Owamie. Now my ninjas, let's go ahead and check this ad and I'll be right back.
Hi ninjas, you asked and I listened. Myself, in partnership with Chifaro Tours and Travels, will be hosting you to Mpumalanga Hazyview from the 10th of December. Details are on your screens right now and I cannot wait to meet you. See you soon.
Ninjas, this is the last time I'm gonna be placing this ad. Those that have paid are the ones that we're gonna go with. We're leaving this Friday, honey, early morning, so basically Thursday night. So if you want to join us to Mpumalanga, go ahead and make your payment. There's no time for deposit anymore. You just have to make a payment, and then so yeah, basically we just have a few people left. And so yeah. Anyway, ninjas, today I am going to be out here and telling you guys what happened when I went to get my basically the settlement agreement. I would like to give this disclaimer. This is my story. I'm telling my story. If you want to tell your own story, you can go ahead and open a YouTube channel and tell your own story, people. And nobody is being stopped from telling their own story. It is unfortunate that some stories that are obviously like my story also includes other people, but unfortunately I'm not gonna not talk about my story simply because it includes somebody. And I guess that, you know, I hope that some of you can actually get that. If you're someone that's just against me talking about anything on this channel, you are quite welcome to go to another channel and, you know, or watch something else. I don't know. But basically I'm gonna go ahead and start off like right from the beginning so that you guys can get the train on as to when we are here, like how we even got where we are now. Beginning of the year or last year, I asked for a divorce from my ex-husband, and this year, beginning of the year, I basically contacted him. The first time I contacted him was in February. There's a video that I made. It even had proof. There's a point where in the video I paused and then I showed a video because the messages are on my tablet. I didn't want to do like the screenshot and whatnot, so I just took my phone, recorded, and if you pause and read, you will see that it matches everything that I actually read out in the video. And so after like he blocked me, that was when obviously things got a bit difficult because I had no way of communicating with him. I did then get a lawyer. After I got a lawyer, I contacted him to say, hey, we all want the same thing. What we both want is for this divorce to be finalized. And so I don't see a reason why we need two lawyers. We can get one lawyer. We can share the cost. And, you know, this lawyer will draft the settlement agreement for us. And then we can both agree on what we want. And then after that, like it's submitted, the divorce is done. Which obviously my ex-husband agreed to that, or soon to be. After that, what basically went down was that after I paid, because there was a deposit that was supposed to be paid before the lawyer could draft the settlement agreement, I called and I said, hey, this is the amount of money that they're saying that is needed, and he said that is fine. So I went ahead and I made the payment so that the drafting of the contract can start, or the settlement agreement, which when I now sent my soon-to-be ex the bill to say this is the half you need to pay now, the other half obviously he was gonna have to pay once the divorce is finalized, including myself. He then told me that he had changed his mind and he did not want to do that. And obviously that was like, I was shattered. I remember crying. I was like, what's going on? Like, you just agreed and stuff like that, which okay, that is fine. And then after that, you know, my lawyer drafts the settlement agreement. After drafting the settlement agreement, I do have to say that my lawyer has been very fair when it comes to like everything. You know, emails Mr. B, and then you know, for him to just read before I go there with the hard copy for him to actually sign. So that what that basically means is that whatever we email him, it cannot be changed on the hard copy. So he's able to read, and then after reading, we can't change anything and not send him, and then I go there with the settlement letter and for him to sign. So at first we wanted to handle the matter with Bethlehem. The reason for that is that the part of Free State that we were married in does not handle divorce. They can marry you, but they cannot get you guys divorced. Now, unfortunately for me, Bethlehem is very far. At that point, my soon-to-be ex-husband was doing absolutely nothing. He didn't have a lawyer, nothing. So I guess the ball was actually in my hands, obviously, to make sure that the divorce happens or fast, because girl, I'm the one that asked for it, right? That's fine. I cannot remember which month, but I do remember that I did went to Free State. When I got there, he signed. When he signed, it was also under the condition that I was going to give him the original papers of the Peugeot, which obviously is the car that he has. And then obviously I gave him the original paper, and obviously it's the car I gave. And then after that, like, the thing is with the settlement agreement basically said that everyone gets to keep anything that they have. So the stand, the piece of land, was already under his name. The car was under my name, so everything that I have, like the Kia and whatever, like that was gonna be mine. Everything he has, like the pension fund and whatever, obviously is gonna be his. But in there, they did have a clause to say that I do have to give him you know, the papers for the Peugeot so that he can change ownership, because that's the car that I'm giving him. And so that was actually in the settlement agreement. However, it did state that everyone gets to keep their own stuff. Everyone will get to pay their own lawyer if it comes to a point where we need lawyers and stuff. So I feel like when my lawyer was drafting that contract, my lawyer was very fair, because at that time my soon-to-be ex did not even have a lawyer. When I went to Free State for that, you guys, I went there with my key. I remember driving there, and then after that I drove to Bethlehem. So when I drove to Bethlehem, I went to the lawyer's office that my lawyer had already spoken to say that they can basically be their correspondent. Now, I don't understand lawyer language, but the way that I understood was that if maybe you have a matter that has to be handled outside your jurisdiction, then you do need to get a corresponding lawyer in that side. And I think that they have their own law terms or whatever that basically says, like, you should help this person, this and this. I don't know how that happens. I didn't even know how the payments was going to happen, but yes, I did go to private lawyers because I was using a private lawyer. So there was no need for me to go to high court and submit the documents myself, because that's what lawyers are there to do. So my lawyer was corresponding with this law firm that is in Bethlehem. When I went there, you guys, when I tell you that these guys in Bethlehem were very much unprofessional, and I'll tell you how, because this guy on the jump, he started like showing me things, and he was basically trying to make my lawyer seem very incompetent, right? When I came back, I remember I was asking myself like some questions, like what's going on, this and this. But that guy ended up actually saying that, hey, don't you want me to just handle this matter for you? I can make sure that this, you know, matter obviously finishes and blah, blah, blah. And he gave me his business card, but I was like, okay, I'll think about it. But honestly, I knew that I was not going to, just because of, I didn't like the way that he conducted himself and did things. It was as if he was trying to steal me from my lawyer. And I had already paid my lawyer, Shbubu, like, where the hell am I going? I've already paid a deposit, so obviously I'm not going anyway. And so I think that is the reason why each time my lawyer called this guy, they would keep constantly say there was a corona case and the court is closed for the next 15 days. And then each time he calls against, like, oh, they closed again, they closed again. They kept on doing that. So we never knew if the law firm and the guy that I went and I gave the papers to even took the matter to court, because we never really had anything from them until later, which I will go ahead and explain to you guys. So after that, you guys, obviously looking at the fact that things were not happening that side, it had been months, my lawyer then suggested, hey, how about we move the matter and just deal with it this side? At least this side, you know, we can be able to even prove if maybe they want to refuse, to say that, you know, we tried Bethlehem did not work, and so now we want to try this side. And other than that, I do not know how, but it seems as if there's a new law that says that if you're going through a divorce, they can actually follow where the wife is and file for the divorce that side, you know. And so, okay, so that was great, right? So my lawyer decides that, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and call Mr. B, and then we're gonna have Mr. B you know, sign, and then we're gonna have the document back. So okay, it's fine. I was like, okay, you know, that's fine, like I can go ahead and call him and I can tell him like what's going on, and I'll tell him that I'm sending the documents. He needs to give me like their full address, because I didn't have his full address and his work address and stuff like that. And so honestly, at that moment, it was before I had even done any video at all. So at that moment, I was still under the impression that, okay, you know what, it's fine. It has been messy, but at least we've gone through past all that shindig. I call Mr. B, and Mr. B basically says that he understands. I'm sure I'll put some screenshots here. I will only delete or block out information that I feel like you guys do not need. But then I called him. When I called him and I spoke to him, he actually said that that was fine, right? So he said that that was fine. After that, as you guys can see, you can see that on top that says, you know, B. And then I say his name. I say, good evening. Can you please send me full address to your home? I want to send tomorrow. Been so busy. Thank you. And that message was on the 20th of September. He sends me his address, which I'm going to block out, and then what I'm going to leave out there is that he said, also note, during the day I'm at work. Now mind you guys, this is not somebody that is fighting, right? I then said, B, should we use the school address? And then he says, yes, you can also use the school address. And then after that, he sends me the school address, which obviously I'm going to block out. And then after that, that was on the 20th. So I was supposed to have gone on the 20th, but I remember that something was happening. I was very busy. On the 21st, you guys can see over there, I then say, thank you so much. Thank you so, I think I wanted to say much. I said, I'm dropping them off now. And that is a picture of the documents. I was actually like showing him that, hey, I'm sending them. And then I said sent once that was done. Now, we had already spoken over the phone to say that once the documents arrive to him, what he's going to do is that, since that side they don't have postnet, honey, it's a very farm place, okay, like they don't have postnet. So I decided that, listen, that when the driver gets there, please just make sure you open and you just sign. We'd already sent him, right, emailed him the copy to say that is the same copy, nothing changed, we're just moving to the side, and then you can go ahead and sign and give the driver, so that the driver comes back with the document, and then my lawyer was gonna just go ahead and take you to court. So on the which day was that? I think it was on the 23rd of September, something, if I'm not too mistaken. I'm now asking him like, yo, like, what's happening? You didn't say anything. And I knew that at that time the documents had arrived. Then that was when he said, yeah, they've arrived. And then I'm like, okay, so why didn't you sign? No, I was busy. I'm like, okay, when are you going to send and bring them? Now I'm like, oh shoot, how is he going to bring them this side? And then he was like, no, I'm not going to bring them. That was the day that we started having the fight. And yes, during that fight, Mugai did then call me an ugly bitch. That's what he called me. And I can prove that, because even there's a message here. It's just that the thing that I responded to him would humiliate, so I'm not going to show that part. But the message is there when I was telling him, like, calling me an ugly bitch, like, from you, like, you know. But then, okay, that is fine. That was the day that I actually recorded that video. What some of you don't know about that video, the first video that I made talking about the update of the divorce, was that even before the video, I was actually crying. I was crying, you guys, because I just felt it had been so long. Things had been dragging for so long. I had tried every single way and every single means for us to just be peaceful. You guys can see, like, I'm not somebody that was even fighting. All that I just wanted was for this divorce to be done. Everything was done fair. And then after that, you guys, so basically what happened was that I never ever communicated with him after that. After that night, honestly, I just decided, you know what, I'm going to just give up and let it all just be with my lawyers. Clearly this guy wants a fight and I'm just not here for that shindish boo-boo. Okay, so you know, my lawyer now basically says that, you know what, we're not going to call him. What we're going to do is that now we're going to just go ahead and send the sheriff. Now the nice part about it is that, remember, he had sent me the addresses, so at least now we didn't have to struggle about getting his address and stuff. I already had it because he had sent me for me to send the documents. And so that was when my lawyer basically said, okay, we printed out a new contract, because to him I sent 3 contracts. That's how fair we have been throughout this progress. 3 contracts, and I signed all of them. So basically what happened was that I wanted him to have an original copy of the settlement agreement. I wanted myself to have an original copy of the settlement agreement, and I wanted my lawyer to have the original copy of the settlement agreement, so he could keep his. If anything happens, he can produce it. I can have mine. If anything happens, I can produce it. My lawyer can have his, because we only had one lawyer at that moment within the 2 of us, right? And so, I mean, clearly there's nothing that I could do. Like, there was no fraud that I could do if I'm now saying, here's the original and we have emailed you a copy you have read. So even if it was a matter of the original had faults, if you go to court, you can actually refute it, because remember, emails have got you know, like timestamps. They also have like email addresses which can be linked to but again, this not PH, man, what's the name? IP addresses. So there's no fraudulent anything that can basically happen, because we are giving you everything. Do you understand what I'm saying? So okay, fine. After that, Bugatti didn't sign them, he didn't bring them back, so we have to now like redo a new, or print out a new contract. I sign, I drop it off to my lawyer. My lawyer now has to send it to a sheriff that is in that jurisdiction, and that is the worst thing that you can like go through, is the fact that what I learned was that sheriffs have jurisdiction. As a sheriff, you cannot go and work in a different jurisdiction, and unfortunately, because that place is so small, they don't have a sheriff. The sheriff is actually in Ritz, and the sheriffs in Ritz, they don't want to be traveling to that side constantly, because there's no clients that side, and they don't want to just you know, go there for one client. So they try and wait, and maybe they can go once a week or once in 2 weeks. It was a nightmare, guys. It was a nightmare. The whole sheriff situation had me so depressed and so frustrated, had me fighting with my lawyer fighting with the sheriff, gave me the sheriff's numbers. And I saw that someone once asked this. I was like, oh, that's unprofessional. How can he give you, you know, the sheriff's numbers? Why would you talk to the sheriff? It was because, girl, I was fighting, okay? I was fighting. I was like, give me those numbers. I'll call the sheriff myself. Because, guys, I just didn't understand what was the holdup. Why are you not serving this person? We need, because from the day that this person is served, they only have, I think, 23 working days for them to respond. And if not, that's when we can go to court. And then like we can get an uncontested divorce, or a divorce, whatever, but a divorce that the person is not even there. So I've seen some of you actually say, why don't you just go and get a divorce when he's not there? It's not that easy, Shbubu. You don't think I would have already done that? Okay, let me calm down. So the sheriff, you guys, took forever. When I went to Mozambique, the sheriff had already been sent the documents. The whole story with the sheriff happened, and then after that, you guys, the sheriff finally does go and serve him. So when the sheriff serves him, the sheriff goes back with the documents, and now we're just like, okay, we will need to go, I will need to go to Fritz and get the documents from the sheriff. And then after, I don't know if it's another 21 working days or 23, but it's like 21 working days if I'm not too mistaken, we can take those papers, and then take to court. Now, after he signed, My lawyer then called Mr. B to ask, hey, are you going to be contesting? And he said, my lawyer will call you. So that was the first time that we were finding out that Mugai got a lawyer. That was after the sheriff had served him. And of course, with the sheriff, you have to sign. So he had signed the documents that were provided. And then after that, my lawyer was like, I don't understand like why he got a lawyer. But then if he's getting a lawyer, it means that they have to be contesting. We need to find out what exactly is it that they are contesting for. So I'm sitting out here, you guys, super nervous, and I'm just like, I wonder what's going on now. Like, what's going to happen? Like, what are they contesting for? What is it that they want? I then made that video, and I was like, you know what? If honestly we're going to court, then it's fine. I'm gonna go in to war as well. It means that I'm also going to go out there and ask for the pension fund. I'm gonna ask for this. I'm gonna ask for that and that, right? After that, the following day, my lawyer calls me and says, hey, his lawyers called and they're saying that what they want is 2 things to be added into the settlement agreement. And I'm like, okay, what are the 2 things? Says that the first thing that they want added to the settlement agreement is that I am not going to want his pension fund. Now I'm like, first of all, we had already agreed on that. I don't want your pension fund. And then they said the second thing is that I will not, no one is going to want spousal support from the other. I don't want to seem rude or mean, but trust and believe, you know, like God would sit this one out. The devil would be the one to be like, listen, God, leave her. Can you leave her to me? Can I deal with her for this cruelty? Like, legit, I'm telling you, it would be the one time that God and the devil would actually sit and negotiate with no, like, I want her to punish her. Because if I know how much you earn, sir, why would I come for your salary? Like, that would be pure evil. Pure evil. Like, guys, I wouldn't be blessed kulomhlaba. I wouldn't. I would go through the most. And so I'm like, the 2 things that I already told you, the 2 things that are already there in the settlement agreement, because the settlement agreement says you keep what you have. So obviously what you have is a pension fund, you keep that. The land is yours, you keep that. The car that was under my name, we gave you, you keep that. Like, make it make sense. Honestly, guys, it was just unnecessary dragging that I didn't understand. Now, obviously, my lawyer was like, okay, that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and add them into the settlement agreement and then send you, and then you can read, and then you can print out, and then you can sign, and then you can bring the document back. Now, when I tell you guys that him and his lawyer basically, or his lawyer insisted that his lawyer is the one that's to add those 2 things into the whole contract that's already drafted by my lawyer. My lawyer is like, okay, that is fine. Guys, when I tell you that I have had the most understanding lawyers, especially looking at the amount of stupidity that they have had to deal with, sometimes you get embarrassed, you know? Sometimes you get embarrassed. Owamie, man, now you should have been smarter than that. So my lawyer is like, okay, it's fine. Sends the original to the lawyer and says the lawyer has to add. The lawyer took his sweet time to add. My lawyer now has to be behind Ubaba's lawyer, so that the lawyer can just add those 2 nonsense and then get the settlement agreement signed. So my lawyer asked the lawyer, what are you doing? It's like, yeah, no, it's fine. I added, and then my client has already signed, and my client gave your client's friend the documents. Now I'm like, which friend? Guys, me and my lawyer are trying our best to find out which friend. Mind you, at this point, because of Mr. B got a lawyer, my lawyer is no longer allowed to communicate with Mr. B direct. My lawyer has to communicate with Mr. B's lawyer, because now he's the person that has a lawyer. Me, I am not calling this disrespectful, man. Like, I just told myself, you know what? And this I saw the booty. Not even Batla Mandela. I said, no, I'm not calling this disrespectful man again. Okay, I'm just done. And so basically what I'm doing is that I'm putting pressure on my lawyer to put pressure on his lawyer so that we find out which friend. Now, guys, when I tell you that we did not find out which friend for the longest time, and so I'm gonna go ahead and just show you guys right now, like the foolishness and the idiocy that actually went down. So there is this picture that I posted. I'm sure I'll put it somewhere here. I'm gonna regret this editing, but I'll put this picture here. And then of course what I'm going to do now is that I'm gonna be screenshotting, and then the voice notes I'm gonna play for you guys right now. What I will do is that I will block out this girl's name, just obviously for legal purposes. And then so I posted the picture that you guys saw, and then she commented, beautiful jacket babe. Now this is a girl that I knew from Free State. We were okay, so I'll go ahead and just reveal, if she's watching, girl, I've been knowing your style. So this girl, you guys, was like my frenemy. Sorry, in terms of if I wanted any information out there, it's here I would tell. You know, I don't know what her deal was, but okay, that is fine. We were cool, but just a lot was going on. Let me not go ahead and get into that. So I say donkey, you guys will see, obviously I'm sure I'll put here. And then I say donkey, I said, babe, did B give you anything? She says yes, a closed envelope. Now if you look at this, the conversation you can see over there, that was on the 23rd of November. 23rd of November. 25th of November is when this message happened. That was on a Thursday. And then she says, beautiful jacket babe. I said, donkey. I said, babe, did B give you anything? She says, yes, love, a closed envelope. I say, why didn't you say? She says, last week Thursday. She says, it was in my place. I asked him, he told you. Oh, I asked him, he told you, he said yes. So she's saying that she asked if he told me and he said yes. So you guys should listen to this audio.
Why didn't you tell me?
Okay.
But even if, like he said, he told me, you couldn't like ask, or when are you coming to take or something? Because now we're out here fighting him, or no, there's nothing, because he's saying he gave my friend. Which friend? Because no one has told me, or like they got the document.
Okay, so those are the two voice notes. She then says, hey babe, he didn't tell me to tell you, Hle. I said, but if you're my friend holding a document that's supposed to come to me and you don't even say a thing, it's okay, I'll come tomorrow. She then says, he said he's going to bring a document to me. Can I please give it to you because you are going to come and fetch it? I said, okay. Then I told him on Monday that you didn't come. He must come and fetch it back. He said, okay, he will come. And then this is the response that she said.
Owamie cabanga phela mina ngifuna ungena indaba zabantu abawu2 phela ungitshela ukuthi you had an agreement nina no2 ushilo ukuthi ukhulumile nawe, so mina I didn't have the time or nje bokungamelanga nje futhi ngimbuza izinto eziningi ayifuni mina ungicelile kuphela ukuthi very busy at school, so I won't be able to meet with Owamie. So can you please take this document and give it to Owamie? Then I asked Owamie uzofika nini. Then he said uzofika I think Friday or Monday. Then on Monday when I knock off, I said no, Owamie akafika, can you come and take it back? Wathi kimi alright ke uzoza zoyilanda. Then ngayigcinakala ngalapho ke. So mina bokungasi indawo yami ukuthi ngikhulume nawe ngisengiloko ngithi ubhikayo let's document the guys don't do this to me. Yazi na ngizomtshela ukuthi angaphinda letha anything la, because I can't ukuthi mase ngifaka indabeni zeni-no2 manje. This is wrong, because mina ngiyenze the way ngitshelwe ngakhona. Akazange angitshela ukuthi upha le document ukuthi nginika ama-document lawa ngicela ukuthi utshele Owamie ezazowalanda. No, akasho ukuthi ngikutshela ukuthi uzowalanda. Uthe Owamie uzoza zowalanda. Already he communicated with you. So ngicela ungangiblame as a brief, and ngizomtshela nje ukuthi no more. I don't like this.
not you those abantu, ne? It's just you for you to just say, hey, there's a document here. You were supposed to come get it. When are you going to come? Like a simple thing, Jay. A simple thing like that. But it's okay. I'm gonna come tomorrow and get it because that paper is what's standing between me and this divorce.
And then after that, she then said, no, babe, I asked him to tell you what no, he spoke to you already. So throughout this whole time, you guys were looking for these documents. This man lied to this girl to say that he told me to come and get the documents. Meanwhile, he didn't talk to me. We don't even know which friend that is being spoken of to say that the documents are with are with them. And I only asked her because she commented on my picture, and I was like, hey, let me just ask her. I was very much pissed with her to say that, like, you could have easily just asked me, like, girl, when are you coming to fetch your documents, before you spoke to this guy. If you're supposed to be my friend, there is absolutely no reason why you cannot just ask me, friend, when are you coming? Because of you were under the impression that I already know and I'm supposed to come and fetch these documents. I think that anybody that watches me, anybody that knows me, they know that there's nothing I've wanted more this whole year than to get this divorce done. I remember I was so heated, you guys. My heart was super painful. And I told her, because I called her. After I called her, she claimed that no, he told her that, lawyers are involved in this thing. And she didn't want to get sued and stuff. And I was like, okay, but I'm coming to get the documents. Now she says that no, I told him to come get them now and he's getting them. I said, you know what, you better tell him that it's either he will have the documents for me or he will take them to the police station or wherever. I don't care, but tomorrow I'm coming. Guys, the way I was so pissed, I told myself that I have not entered that house in over 3 years. This is year 4. That day, guys, I was gonna enter. I told myself that, you know what, even if they're gonna arrest me, it's fine. I want those papers because I'm sick and tired. Do you understand the frustration I've been going through? All of stupidity and all this, it frustrates me. So after that, she then tells me that they took. She didn't tell me this. Mr. B's lawyer calls my lawyer to say that Mr. B took those documents to the High Court in that area, so I can go there and ask for a guy, and then they gave me the name. I said, that is fine. Guys, I told myself, like, you see, I got this information Thursday. Friday, I was driving to Free State. That's how much I want this divorce from Das. I was driving to Free State. I got in Free State. I took the document. I looked at it. It was signed. After that, now I had to go to Ritz to get the sheriff's the document from the sheriff. Fortunately for me, my friend's husband stays in Ritz, and he just happened to be in Ritz at that time. So she spoke to him. He went to the sheriff. He got the document. And I remember, because of we were having a bit of difficulty, I drove back and then I packed in Villiers, and I was just waiting to hear that he actually got the document, because I told myself, and it was late, I told myself that if maybe something happened and he couldn't get the documents, that's why I was driving that over 100 kilometers to Ritz, so that I'm able to get this document from the sheriff. Like, guys, when I tell you that the lioness in me that day was like, Ndizo driver. I was driving, guys, in my car. I had my baby, I had my sister. It was the 3 of us, and we were going Mdase. So we did, and then after that, I came back with the documents. My friend's husband came back with the documents from the sheriff. I took both the documents and I submitted the documents, or I met up with my lawyer and gave both the documents. Now, because of Mr. B had gotten a lawyer, that simply means that this they are contesting. So now we need a letter from Mr. B's lawyer that actually says that he's not the lawyer of interest or whatever, that this divorce is uncontested. Because I think that there's a section where they ask the in court. I don't know, obviously I'm not doing the paperwork. That's why I got a lawyer, okay? And so at this moment, for my lawyer to submit that, we're just waiting for that one document from Mr. B. When you guys watch this video, I recorded this video yesterday. Today is the 7th of December. Okay, when I'm recording now, it's the 7th of December. I don't know if you guys can see that, but yeah, 7th of December. So I am recording today when you guys are gonna get this video. We are only waiting for Mr. B's lawyer's paper to say that he's withdrawing. This man is up and down with YouTube, but he's not telling his lawyer, yo, send that letter so that this divorce can be finalized fast. This man made this divorce so difficult. I come with proof. That is the truth. All proof is here. When I tell you that if this man had simply signed those papers back in September, this divorce would have already been finalized. I know that some of you are even tired about it. Imagine how I should feel about it. And I will share my life story because I've always shared my life story. I did not start only sharing about stuff that have happened only because of this divorce. No, if you go back to my channel, you will see that it was always entertainment, and it was also personal stories, and it was this and it was that. I share whatever it is that I'm going through that time, and unfortunately or fortunately for me right now, it's divorce. And obviously it's the story that I'm going to share. Now, you know someone is dumb when they lie of things that can be proven. Like, how dare you? How do you lie on something that can easily be proven? Like, records are here. So I am happy, obviously it's a victory, but whether if he had signed or not, it was still going to go forward because we're just going through with the sheriff. Now, even now, if his lawyer chooses not to send us that letter, we do have proof that the sheriff had sent and was still going to continue. It's normal kanjani. Come hell, come fire, come rain, come storm, come thunder, come whatever. This divorce is going to happen, and it's going to happen soon. Be very careful of the people you choose to tie yourself down with. I have dealt with a lot. And I'm so happy and so glad that at this point, we are almost at the finish line. This is just the last step, obviously. They're still dragging that, which is fine because the days from which the sheriff had served him are actually very close. And soon, sorry, my lawyer is going to just go ahead and submit everything. With or without him, this divorce will be granted. So that's basically what has been going on, Chibubu. I feel like this summarizes like the whole divorce, because I did not want to just start off with the story of, oh, when I went to Free State now, you know, because sometimes some people just have missed one video here or there, but this is the events, how the events went from the beginning up until now. A lot has been going on. A lot of this will be done, and then someone backpedals, and then this man did not have a lawyer throughout the whole year. Only when he was served with the sheriff, that was when he started, let me get a lawyer, and then the lawyers to come to say, I'm stopping this. That does not seem like somebody that is really like so much wanting this divorce. It doesn't. I don't know with you guys, but for me, it doesn't. I don't know what he thought he was going to achieve by lying to this girl and claiming that I knew. Because, guys, think about it. If I knew, I had already known a week, because she said that the document he brought last week, Thursday. So, if I knew about it, you don't think that same Friday I would have driven? I found out Thursday that the document is there, and the Friday I immediately drove. So I would have already done that. Trust and believe, especially knowing that it was with her. If it was like still during the day Thursday, I would have immediately driven to Free State, and then I would have made sure that Friday my lawyer was getting the documents and obviously submitting. But I don't know what was going to be the end game in terms of, was they were going to say that no, the settlement agreement was sent to someone, but where was going to be the proof to say which person? Because you can't just say to her friend, which friend? And then tell this poor girl, no, don't even talk to her. Don't tell her that I gave you this document. She knows. Knowing damn well that I don't know. He claims he spoke to me. He never spoke to me. So we are just sitting, he's just sitting there. That he knows where the document is, and he knows the document is not being collected. Because I don't know where the document is. We keep on calling his lawyer. Sometimes the lawyer won't pick up. It was just a nightmare, you guys. It was honestly just a nightmare and a mess. But yeah, we're almost done. Almost there. Or I'm almost done. Because trust me, child, I've been pulling this divorce by myself. Same as I've been pulling the finances in this fucking relationship. Like, I'm so sorry to swear, but girl, I've been going through the most, okay, for years. So now I'm gonna soon this whole nonsense is going to be done, and I cannot wait for my son to just go back to Nature Jewelry and Home Affairs. I cannot wait, guys. I cannot wait. This has been such a huge inconvenience in my life, because my ID is Nature Jewelry. Oh, Home Affairs is Hlongwane. If I lose my ID, I'm screwed, because the ID that will come out is gonna be Hlongwane. And everything in the bank is Nature Jewelry. So it's like, if I dare even change, like, or go and get a new ID, it means that I have to change my bankings and whatever to Hlongwane as well, and then wait for the divorce to finalize, and then change back to Nature, which will be a lot of money for me, because you guys know getting new IDs and new this and that is money. I don't have that money to waste. So I'm really just like looking forward to this whole thing to be done. I do hope, and I have been hoping, that his lawyer, or Mr. B, would actually like take a break from being a newfound celebrity like YouTube, and actually call his lawyer to say, yo, send that last document that is needed so that they can submit and this divorce can be finalized. For a woman that Mugai speaks so low of, you would think that he would be very quick to divorce. But clearly you guys can see proof is in the pudding. This man has been delaying this since day one. But no matter what, guys, no matter kanjani, if you're watching Mr. B, no matter what you do, no matter what you say, this divorce is going to happen. Ungafuni, no mufuna, I don't give a damn. But oksalayo, this divorce is going to happen, Shem. I am going to be free, finally. And, you know, live my best life, honey. Live my best life. Did you guys see my hair? So, yeah, I'm just at a point in my life where I have finally gotten back to the good space, and just giving my lawyer those documents, knowing damn well that whether the lawyer submits or not is just a matter of days. And immediately the day arrives, say, fuck, I'm done. Pelele divorce. I'm really excited about that. And yeah, other than that, that's basically what happened. Everything I've told you guys has been the truth. I'm not one to like lying, especially when it comes to serious stuff, and especially when it comes to you guys. And so that's basically what's happening, my people. I love you guys so much. Do not forget to thumbs up this video and versus share. I tried a new background, you guys. I brought out like my stand.